You know what's hiding beneath a surprising number of American homes? Not treasure, not ghosts. Something more practical, and in a way, more unsettling. Underground food cellars. These weren't just holes in the ground. They were survival machines, earth-built refrigerators that kept families alive through winters that didn't forgive mistakes. Picture life in the 1800s, no electricity, no supermarkets, no apps. Winter wasn't a vibe. It was a deadline. If you didn't preserve food correctly, you didn't just run low. Your family could starve. So people built something ingenious beneath the house. They carved out chambers that stayed cool using nothing but the planet itself. Here's the principle, and it's almost poetic. Below a certain depth, the earth holds a steady temperature year-round. While the world above swings from heat to frost, the soil down there stays stable, cold, consistent, predictable. And our ancestors understood it without fancy terms. They lived close enough to the land to notice what modern life makes us forget. They realized they could use that stability against the enemy of preservation, warmth. But the genius is in the details. They didn't just dig, they engineered. Ventilation mattered. You needed airflow, but not too much, cool, but not damp with rot, fresh, but not warm. So they built small vents at different heights. Cold air settles, warm air rises, with vents placed just right. You got a gentle circulation that kept the cellar balanced, almost breathing on its own. The walls were stone brick, materials that hold temperature like a slow heartbeat. They absorb heat slowly and release it slowly, smoothing out spikes and dips inside wooden shelves, stacked storage, careful spacing. Everything had one job: keep the food in that safe range, roughly 40 to 50 degrees, without a single watt of power. And then there was the entrance. The weak point: many cellars use double doors, sometimes with a small landing between them. A primitive airlock. You opened the outer door and didn't immediately dump warm air into the main chamber. You stepped into a transition space first. Your eyes adjusted. The air changed. Then you opened the second door and entered the cold. Because once you crossed that threshold, you weren't in a basement. You were in the place where winter lost some of its power. So what did they store down there? Not just apples and potatoes, though those mattered. They stored an entire plan for survival. Root vegetables, cabbages, turnips, carrots, beets, onions, foods chosen because they last in cool, humid conditions. And more than that, canned goods, cured meats, cheese, butter, eggs packed in salt. Some cellars even had separate zones, drier areas for grains and preserved items, more humid corners for fresh vegetables. And that humidity wasn't a flaw. It was part of the design. Unlike modern refrigerators that dry food out, these cellars stayed slightly moist. Because the earth itself held humidity that meant vegetables didn't shrivel as fast. Families might not have called it humidity control, but they knew the difference. They learned by watching what lasted, what spoiled, and why. And what's almost unbelievable is how long food could survive down there. Apples for 8, 9, sometimes 10 months. Potatoes lasting into spring, root vegetables still firm in late winter. When the world above was frozen and stripped bare, it wasn't magic. It was observation and a design that respected physics. Different regions built them differently. In New England, where winters were brutal and the ground could freeze hard, cellars were often dug deeper. And in some communities, people harvested ice from frozen lakes and stored it in sawdust underground. That ice could linger far into warmer months, boosting the cellar's cooling power. In the South, where winters were milder, the cellars didn't always need extreme depth. The focus shifted to ventilation and moisture management. In the Midwest, where deep freezes hit but the soil was often easier to work, cellars could be large and extensive, sometimes stretching beneath much of the home. But then something happened, and it didn't arrive with a scream! It arrived with a hum! Electricity, refrigerators, convenience. Families stopped using the cellar. Many were sealed. Some were repurposed for pipes and wires. Others were abandoned, left to collapse slowly in the dark. And the strangest part is how often modern homeowners don't even know it's there. A forgotten door, a hidden staircase, an air pocket under the floorboards that the house keeps like a secret. Yet today, people are rediscovering them. Historians, preservationists, homeowners renovating an old kitchen who find a latch where no latch should be. They open it, and the air that rises is different. Cooler, heavier, smelling of stone and damp soil. A place that feels like it's been waiting. Some of them repair these spaces and use them again, not because they have to, but because they're drawn to the elegance of it, because it works, because a system that needs no grid, no compressor, no supply chain feels oddly reassuring. These cellars weren't just storage. They were a mindset, a culture of solving problems locally with materials at hand, stone, brick, wood, and the patience to learn what the land was already offering. Even the geometry tells a story. Coldest zones were reserved for the most perishable items and the things that had to last. Near the entrance, where temperatures fluctuated more, went items that could tolerate change. Deeper in the back, in the corners that stayed coldest, you stored the food that mattered most. Some cellars were accessed from outside through a stone stairwell. Others were accessed from inside, near the kitchen, because time and weather were enemies too. You didn't want to fight wind and snow just to bring up potatoes. You wanted a short descent, a quick check, and a careful return. Doors closed behind you, warmth preserved above, cold preserved below. And once you see how deliberate it was, it becomes hard to call it primitive.
So why did we forget them? Because progress changes what a society pays attention to. Once you can buy strawberries in winter and keep meat cold with a plug, you stop thinking about seasons. You stop thinking about preservation. You stop teaching the little tricks that used to matter. The knowledge fades, not because it was wrong, but because it wasn't needed. Until it is. There's an irony here that's hard to ignore. The more we rely on modern systems, the more fragile our everyday life becomes. A long power outage isn't just inconvenient anymore. It can become a real emergency. Our food depends on refrigeration, transport, warehouses, supply chains, and stable energy. If a major link breaks, shelves empty fast. Our ancestors didn't have that network. They had something simple, local, and resilient, a backup plan built into the home itself. That's why preservationists are trying to document what remains. They measure these chambers, photograph entrances, record vent placements, map depths, and collect stories from the last people who remember using them. They treat them like artifacts because that's what they are. Physical evidence of how ordinary people solved extraordinary problems. And now imagine this. You go down into one of these cellars today. At first, you see nothing, just darkness swallowing the steps. Then your eyes adjust. The air feels cooler on your skin, like the ground is exhaling. The smell is unmistakable. Stone, soil, old wood, a dampness that doesn't feel dirty, just ancient. You hear small sounds you can't place at first. A drip somewhere far back, a faint creak as the house above shifts in the wind. You walk deeper, and the temperature steadies. It doesn't care what season it is. It doesn't care what year it is. The earth holds its line. And suddenly it's easy to picture the people who used this space when the world outside was hostile. A mother checking apples one by one. A father lifting a crate of potatoes, counting what's left, doing quiet math with his hands. Children carrying a lantern, told to be careful, told to close the doors quickly because warm air was the enemy. Food wasn't just food, it was time, it was insurance. It was the difference between making it to spring or not. These underground cellars are more than quirky old architecture. They're time capsules of human problem-solving, proof that technology doesn't always mean wires and motors. Sometimes it means understanding nature well enough to let it do the work. They're still out there, under floorboards and behind sealed doors, beneath houses that have long forgotten what they're standing on. Quiet, cold, waiting to be remembered.